Hey there, wrestling fanatics! How the hell is everyone doing? It's your host here once again. It is TeamRyRy back with another podcast edition of TeamRyRy's Wrestling Podcast Edition, episode number 17. I have a new guest here. Go ahead and plug your social media, my friend.
What's going on, guys? This is Justin Kish. I do I do a couple of things here on YouTube. But you guys want to talk to me? I talk everything sports, football, baseball, basketball, including the world of professional wrestling. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Justin David Kish. You guys can also check out the YouTube channel. Just search Access Sports Network. Got a couple of sports videos on there. I'm a writer. I write everything about sports. I want to get into the world of wrestling as a writer. Just everything about sports. I'm a writer for mixed martial arts. I'm a member of the media for arena football, Major League Soccer. We will find all of that in my site. I'm going to launch here in a little while, so hopefully I come back and do a couple more episodes with you, Ry. Just follow me on social media at Justin David Kish on Twitter, Facebook. You guys can also find the links to the Facebook and my Vine as well on my Twitter profile.
Cool. Okay, the first thing we are gonna kick off is last night is the tournament because Seth Rollins got injured at the house show. So what's your thoughts, really quickly, on the tournament so far?
The tournament is setting up. A lot of people are saying it's setting up for Roman Reigns to become champion. I do see that. It does. It does look like that is going to be the route that WWE is going to be going down. But I was really, so far the tournament, the matches have been okay. I know we still have a couple of matches coming up on SmackDown this past week. I wasn't able to watch SmackDown. I was just able to watch Raw, so I got to go back and watch. I don't know who has advanced in the tournament so far. All I know is it was Kevin Owens that advanced, and Cesaro that has advanced to my knowledge, and also Dean Ambrose.
And Dolph too.
I love the matches. I love the Cesaro match with Sheamus.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Owens, who I'm a huge mark for. I love Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen during his days in ROH. I'm just a huge, passionate Kevin Owens fan, but we all know that he's not, ready to grab that brass ring right now and grab that main championship. But I think he's going to be that guy to be in the Final Four.
You think so?
I can see it. I really can see it because, they really need to have a couple of big name matches going into the Survivor Series event. I know it's going to be, it's basically, Undertaker's event. It's Survivor Series. He's going to be in the WWE for 25 years, hence why it's, WWE is marking as Undertaker's 25th anniversary. So, there's going to be a couple of, they have to really make this show strong, and it basically all in tribute to Taker, and I cannot wait for the Taker match against the Wyatts as well. So, I think it's going to be a really interesting, the Final Four. I do guarantee that Kevin Owens will be part of the four because I think he's been being pushed a whole lot, a little bit, but they really need to get some big name guys in this tournament.
Do you think Dean Ambrose is gonna be part of the the Final Four guys?
Actually, I do. I think a lot of people are saying Dean Ambrose could be the guy that could potentially turn heel, at the pay per view because if you go back to the Deadly Games in '98, The Rock turned heel, basically turned the back on the fans, going with the McMahons. I'm sitting there watching this on pay per view when I was only 4 years old at the time, and how I remember this is beyond me. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what? Why would The Rock do that? But,
Yeah.
It happened. It came out from underneath our nose. That's the attitude era for you guys. But regardless, I think that, Dean Ambrose could be a guy that could end up facing Roman Reigns in the finals, honestly. It's going to be something interesting. A lot of people are waiting for either a Shield reunion, with the injury of Seth Rollins and with the lack of, heels on, the top of the card in the WWE. They really need somebody to come out. A lot of people say it could be Roman becoming the new guy because I know Triple H on Raw was trying to, persuade Roman Reigns into joining him in the Authority. But a lot of people could be, people are saying, Dean Ambrose could be, Triple H can go behind the books, go behind Roman Reigns' back and try to bring in Dean Ambrose. So, there's a lot of things you really want to watch out for in the Survivor Series, and I think this is going to be a must-watch Survivor Series year.
Yeah, usually Survivor is like a hit and miss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was watching on the network I think it was the 2013 edition of the Survivor Series. I just never really liked it at all. I know last year was okay, okay. I think that's an improvement from the 2013 year in which we saw a terrible worked Divas elimination matchup. I mean, I was just not into that whole Survivor Series year a couple of years ago.
I agree with you, but I really want Dolph going to, 4 guys, but probably he'll get eliminated down the road. I really thought, what's his name, Tyler Breeze will move on, but he's not. I guess that he's not ready for him to move on.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Breeze. Right? It's interesting that they put Tyler Breeze in because he has never really competed in a live TV show. I guarantee he's done multiple house shows for the WWE, but they booked it on Monday as his first WWE matchup.
Yeah.
I don't consider that. I consider house shows still considered part of the WWE product. If you're fighting under the WWE banner, wherever you fight, wherever you wrestle, it's considered your first match. And NXT is a completely different banner than what the WWE is. And the way that they booked it, I'm a real guy. I'll get into the more deeper end of it and be a little bit, like an asshole a little bit and be like, okay, this is his legitimate match. He's done multiple house shows. If you follow the WWE on Snapchat, you can see Tyler Breeze being put into matches by fans and everything, and that's considered his first match. But they booked it as his first live show match on the WWE. But I was really shocked that the WWE just put him the basic wrestlers in this tournament. I mean, you could have looked at guys like Samoa Joe, a Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, maybe a Bull Dempsey. I mean, if you want to throw some NXT guys up there, put them in this tournament. Give them an opportunity to put in this tournament. Get some new faces because we don't have a lot of main roster stuff right now, dude. There's not a lot of big guys up there besides Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens, because we all know that that Vince McMahon controls Raw and SmackDown as a product, and we don't have a lot of big name guys that are ready to make that big push right now. Besides, I guess if I want to side with the fans here, Roman Reigns. I don't think Roman Reigns is ready to take the title right now either. So the WWE is running dry right now on big main event caliber guys right now. Now that Seth Rollins is on the bookshelf.
And that's it too. And speak of injuries, John Cena, he took some time off. Orton, he's out injured because he took it the garbage out. There's gonna be more to that story. Who else is injured?
I don't think no one else is injured. I think there's a lot of guys taking time off right now. I mean, I think John Cena's doing some TV show or whatever. The whole thing with Randy Orton with taking the trash out, I think that was kind of silly.
Yeah.
But people get injured for the dumbest things. I got injured. Getting hit with the wiffle ball, and I had to get eye surgery for that at one point. So, I mean, stuff happens. It's everyday life, and you just got to take it day by day. The WWE now have to scramble around to put something together, and that's what they have to do right now. They have to really, basically hand the reign over to Roman Reigns.
Now, I think this is my theory. I agree, and this is my prediction. I mentioned it in yesterday's video, or one of his podcasts is going to be up. It's going to be Dean Ambrose roaring into the finals, and someone's going to get screwed, someone's going to turn heel, and someone's going to talk about it for a while now. Social media and all that good stuff, and that's what W wants. And you really think that Roman Reigns is going to accept Triple H's offer? No. He wants to earn it,
Yeah, I mean, it's just the WWE is really much building this event to be the Undertaker and basically a Roman Reigns show. I mean, there has not been besides Bray Wyatt promos, we have not seen the Undertaker since being carded, or basically being dragged off into the darkness by the Wyatt family at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I mean, we have not seen a lot of the WWE promoting Undertaker stuff. It's basically Bray Wyatt doing promos, doing taking Undertaker's power, and it's just, I think that they're dropping the ball on this 25th anniversary build-up. I want to see the Undertaker do something in the shows. I know that if this is going to be the Undertaker's last hurrah in the WWE this last month, his last match could be against Bray Wyatt. I want to see the Undertaker do a lot of things leading up to it. I don't want to see the Undertaker just be okay. I'm gonna do a promo on Raw, do a promo on SmackDown, have the match on Sunday, and call it a career. I don't want to see that. I still think the Undertaker could do at least one more WrestleMania. But if this is going to be it, I'm so far I'm just disappointed in the lack of Undertaker that we have not been seeing on WWE television.
I agree with you. Maybe that's his decision, or maybe it's the creators or McMahon. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can't really. I don't really. I don't have like any of the backstage news on anything like that. But it's something that I would love to. I would love to see more Undertaker. I know we all would love to see more Undertaker. We're all Undertaker fans here. I mean, I have not met a single person that's not an Undertaker fan. But I know a lot of people who I've talked to are huge, passionate wrestling fans. We'd also love to see more Undertaker. We're just, Bray Wyatt is carrying the baggage leading into the event. I want to see something big, and I have a prediction. I don't know if this is part of any of the questions you're going to ask me or anything, but I have a prediction on this elimination match at the Survivor Series between Taker and Kane and the Wyatts.
Okay, go ahead, go for that, and then we can discuss about other stuff. Go for it.
Yeah, my prediction is I think a lot of people are undermining a potential ministry return, having Kane be a part of like kind of like a ministry kind of ordeal. I know there's a couple of guys that could potentially come out of either their retirement or out of like the independent scene. There's a couple of guys that do come to my mind. JBL, maybe he can be a part of the Undertaker's tag team because JBL was part of at that time in the at the late 1990s. Bradshaw, he was known as Bradshaw with the Ministry of Darkness or as the Acolytes. Dennis Knight, aka Mitty, I know he's a chef in Florida now. Viscera, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us in this world. I don't think he's not going to be a part of it, but there's only a couple of guys that really do, come back to my mind. And potentially maybe like a ministry versus the Wyatt family kind of ordeal. Have Bradshaw, Kane, and Undertaker. And, give me a lot of heat on this one, but I would like to say Gangrel. I would love to see Gangrel. I know it probably won't happen. It probably will not happen, or likely will not happen. But I really wanted to see if the WWE could potentially throw something together like this and just completely, shock the crowd. I would love to see something like that.
It might happen, it may not happen, but that's just people could dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears and discuss about I know Survivor, is getting pumped up. I cannot believe 25 years for Taker. Holy shit, that's a lot of great thing. He's a future Hall of Famer. I agree with you. I think this is his last run, but I heard reports this is not his last run, so I don't know what to believe until it happens. It makes sense. This is his last run because they make a big deal about it. Well, sort of. They should. 25 years of Taker Survivor Series. I think should be the last run. Probably this is going to be his last match at Survivor Series. Then take some time off, come back at WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania. You agree with that or no?
Well, we all have a lot of things we want to see from The Undertaker. We still want to see Sting and Undertaker at WrestleMania. I'm truly am done watching Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker. I'm just completely am done watching that. Undertaker never beat Brock Lesnar. Undertaker tapped out at the last, not the past Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but I think it was SummerSlam, where Undertaker tapped out. I'm just sick and tired of watching it. I mean, we've seen it 1,000 times. The WWE was building up, their last Hell in a Cell match as the first ever. They're not even acknowledging, the 2003, I want to say 2003 No Mercy pay-per-view when they had that Hell in a Cell matchup. And so they finally, brought it to light in a Facebook post of all things, not even bringing it up on WWE pay-per-view, probably because how The Undertaker was bleeding and how the WWE is against blood now. I know Vince McMahon was furious over that blood incident at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. It's just, we were done seeing Undertaker and Lesnar. It's time for The Undertaker to really do something new. Give him a whole new opponent. I know we've seen him against Bray Wyatt. I don't want to see that again at WrestleMania. I mean, we saw Undertaker and Lesnar at Mania before. I don't want to see it again. So The Undertaker can lose again to Brock Lesnar, because I guarantee the WWE will do everything in their power to keep Lesnar happy and probably have The Undertaker hand him his second loss at a WrestleMania. I don't want to see it. I want to see a great matchup between Sting and The Undertaker. And if that is the last, that is the last thing I want to see from The Undertaker. I don't want to see, after this whole Bray Wyatt, situation, I want to see something new. I want to see something kind of fresh. I want to see Sting and The Undertaker WrestleMania, both of their final matches in wrestling. Have them, put on a show like that. Have them ride off in the careers in the sunset. And what better way to do it than on the grandest stage of all, that WrestleMania.
Are you talking about this WrestleMania coming up in Dallas or WrestleMania 33 in Minnesota?
Either or, honestly. I mean, the Undertaker will obviously be put into a match at this Mania, but I still, if they were really gonna hype up a Sting Taker match, I think they would have already been putting it already. Are they trying to be in the early? There should have been kind of, some announcements being brought out that that could be in the future plans of wrestling. But with Sting being injured right now, that's on the back burner right now. So I mean, if it doesn't happen this year, then I would shoot for the Minnesota WrestleMania.
Oh yeah. I think it'll be a one-time only, once in a lifetime. I don't think it's gonna happen again, like the John Cena and The Rock. That was very, very, very stupid. I mean, once in a lifetime. That's a awesome catchphrase, and they decided to do it again. Why? I mean, why? I don't understand it. I was. I don't know about you. If you are you? Let me before I continue. Are you a John Cena fan?
No, I mean, not really.
Okay.
I don't disrespect the guy. I mean, I'm not a passionate John Cena hater. I mean, I don't like him as a wrestler because he has not changed anything about
Nope.
himself. Since 2005, we're 10 years later, nothing new. I mean, I love the guy. The fact that he does do a lot of charities. I'm about the charity stuff. I work with kids who are who have autism and everything like that. The Make a Wish Foundation is something I really love. That's what I love about John Cena. But as an in ring competitor, I want to see something new. I mean, but I just don't like the guy as a wrestler, and that's just where I'm going to put it.
Yeah, he's never gonna turn heel. A lot of YouTubers discussing about this over years. He's like the Hogan of back in the day, but never turned heel. But he did turn heel. If it happens, it happens. So I don't want to discuss this anymore. But it's an old topic. He is getting very, very boring. He says the same old shit. The promos, the segments. He's not. I don't know. He just. I don't know. I can't really explain it because maybe the younger fans love him, but the older fans like me and you don't give a flying shit about him.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I like the John Cena, the kind of John Cena when it was first coming onto the scene. I mean, at least he was a little bit, he was good in the ring. I like his, matches at Vengeance with Chris Jericho. I thought that was a good match. His match at Vengeance, I think in 2004 or 2003, it was 2002 Vengeance against Jericho. I think a year later at the 2003 Vengeance show, it was him and the Undertaker. I
Yes.
think those were, some of my two favorite John Cena matches. But just John Cena has not really, advanced himself in anything. I mean, I would love to see a heel turn from the guy, but it's not going to happen because the amount of charities and stuff, and how much I guess you can call him a draw for the lady fans and the much younger kids. I can understand that, but it's just us as older fans, I can't stand the guy. I mean, I just can't.
You know what? It shouldn't really matter if he does charity. That's a different thing. This is wrestling, for crying out loud. He needs to turn heel, and I know people can say, "Oh, if he turns heel, the merchandise will go down." That is not true. Look at Hogan when he turned heel. Did the merchandise went down? Did it?
No, not really.
See? But maybe because that's Hogan and this is John Cena. I don't know. But WWE needs to take a chance. Do you agree with that? Does WWE needs to take a chance on John Cena? Like, take a big gamble? Don't you think they should?
Yes, sir.
They should. I mean, come on now. Look at. I'll give you an example real quickly. Batista, when he came back recently, last year, they made him as a face. He didn't want that. And then before WrestleMania 30, he was heel, and that's perfect for him. He's not gonna come back until He wants to come back. I watched an interview because he was um with the new Bond movie. He's not gonna come back until um W wants what he wants. I mean, Batista want. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about or no about Batista?
I haven't really heard much about Batista, but you probably know more than I do right now.
Yeah, but the reason he left, I think, in my opinion, I might totally be wrong because it's too much PG bullshit. So he decided to come back. He thought it'd be different. It's the same old shit. Then he stayed for a little bit. He left to film movies, and this had nothing to do with wrestling. I think he's a pretty good actor. I don't know if you saw his movies lately. Have you or no?
Yeah, I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy like the day after it came out. I mean, I like the movie, but it's like I'm an okay the whole comic scene. I mean, I'm an average comic fan, but regardless for what it is, I'm okay with Batista as an actor, but it's like I'm not gonna end up immediately going out and seeing him. And some of the big time movies that he's in. I mean, I'll come out, I'll see it later on, but I'm not an immediate mark for a Batista.
Me neither. But he did pretty good in that Bond movie. But it's gonna take some time. But I don't think he's gonna come back for wrestling right now because it's too much PG. You know, too much. They need to be more edgier. You know.
I mean, like outside of like The Rock, who I mean, all these other superstars have appeared in movies. They do cameo appearances in movies. I mean, Batista, he's rising to fame because of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That's the only role that I honestly do know that he's had a main, part in. I mean, unless you want to consider what the Scorpion King, what 3 or 2 or whatever. It's just the Scorpion King's a Rock movie, but they continue to linger on. Then the Batista came into the fold, but I mean, there's not another movie that I honestly, that did well. Outside a couple of Rock movies, and most of the superstars that they do bring into movies, like Kane and See No Evil, that was not a highly acclaimed movie. That movie was very raw. It was not good on the Rotten Tomatoes meter. See No Evil 2, yet again, was not on the hottest movie list of all time, starring Kane. I mean, they're just some superstar movies. It's better if they do cameos, unless you're like a Rock or a Batista, who Batista is now gaining some more movie fame now because he was just basically untouchable in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. So you're not a big fan of these superstars or making movies or appearances. You're not a big fan of that, are you?
I'm just not a fan of superstars who come and go.
Okay.
Nope. I'm just I Rock Cheetah style. I mean, he said he's coming back. He comes back, does a couple pay per views and leaves. Um, comes back, does a WrestleMania, wins the title, leaves,
Yeah.
drops the title to Cena,
Leaves.
leaves.
Yep.
I can't do that. Brock Lesnar, okay, comes back at one point, does a
Yep.
great job. The whole Seth Rollins storyline was great. I mean, Brock Lesnar was actually kind of being a little bit consistent, but now that he's back off TV again, I mean, this is no ballet. You gotta if you there should not be any part timers in the world of wrestling.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree. Yep.
I mean, Chris Jericho. Honestly, to pick a career, man. I mean, I love Chris Jericho to death. I'm not a 1,000% Chris Jericho fan, but I'm a Jericho fan. I like his in ring style. He's one of my favorites to watch. But honestly, it's like I know you have Fozzy. I know you have your podcast. Both are doing successful work right now. Then you have wrestling as a back burner kind of project. I don't want to diss Chris Jericho or anything like that because I love Jericho a whole lot. But I just don't want to see him come back for like this match, come back for that match, and then 3 months later you're back for this match, and then we get another hype Titantron return of Jericho, and then all of a sudden he does a Royal Rumble appearance, and then he's gone for 6 months,
Yep.
and then he's back for a week, and then he's gone for another 9 years, then he's back for another week. It's just I'm just getting so fed up, and RVD on the other hand, I mean I'm a RVD fan, to the bitter end. I love Rob Van Dam. The guy is fantastic in the ring. Love watching his work. mean, I'm also an indie mark too, so I do watch a couple of independent shows. If RVD is available, I do buy DVDs for independent wrestling shows like House of Hardcore, PWG, ROH. I don't. RVD has not been in ROH or PWG that I recollect, but I do watch a lot of indie shows, and like I said, ROH, PWG, and House of Hardcore and so on and so forth. But RVD, I can understand where he's coming and going. It's just this is a company or this is a sport where what if you want to be the best and you want to get the best, you gotta stay here through thick and thin. There's no taking months off just to go to take some time off to do this. I mean, it's your choice. It's either you're with us or you're without us. That's how I feel, in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, I agree. So I think no wrestling fan, I mean not wrestling fan, I'm sorry, no wrestling a wrestler should not have part time at all. Like Lesnar, he should never become champion. The Rock never become champion. Let the young guys win it. I know the young guys were pissed off when that happened. And I don't know whose idea was a part time wrestler. Was that McMahon or what? How did that all happen?
I don't know. I think it's just part of the whole contract situation.
Okay, well they need to change it. I think.
I think that if the WWE is going to end up keeping, just stay in like a state for a week. You can do a couple of shows here, then you're back on the road for a week. Not just one show, you do a show, and then you go to another city and you do everything else. It's just it's so complicated. I know the WWE is starting to do that a little bit now. I know Raw was in like in Little Rock, Arkansas, and they're in some city in Arkansas for a SmackDown show. I mean, that is what I think should be the best thing. They stay in a town for a week or so, and I know they're global now. It's just I want to see the minimum. I want to see less superstars taking time off. Being part time. I mean, for the much older members of the roster like an Undertaker, a Sting, I can understand that. Their bodies should not be accustomed to being on the road at 365. They've already did their 365 for Undertaker 25 years, even longer than that. Sting even also even longer than that. They've been traveling a while, so why do they deserve to be back on the road 365? I understand where Sting can take time off because he's injured. I can understand why Undertaker does not take on a full schedule out of the entire year. So I mean, unless you're injured to like a serious point, like Tyson Kidd is. I'm a ultimate diehard fan of Tyson Kidd. He's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. Outside, unless because he has a neck injury right now, so I can understand why he's out for a while. Unless you have a legitimate, serious injury, the WWE should have easier schedule for the guys. Unless if you're injured, that's going to keep you on the sidelines for a long time. Just lighten the travel schedule for them, or don't even put them on unless they're 100% ready to come back.
When do you think Tyson Kidd will come back? Is he due to come back or not? He's not ready yet?
Oh, I have not heard a single thing. I have not heard anything from news outlets or anything like that. I want to hope soon. I want to say I hope he does return soon. But that that injury with his neck is severe, is what I heard. Very probably put him on the books for about a year, and that's what I heard in the early portions of the story. So. I mean, it's very much of it's a crushing blow because at the time he was at the time where Natalia, Cesaro, and Kidd were at the highest peak of the tag team division. Today, they probably could still be tag team champions if Tyson Kidd did not become injured. But I want to see Tyson. I want to say he could return soon, but I don't want to hold my tongue on that because he does have a severe neck injury, and plus I'm a diehard fan of him. I'm just wishing him the best.
Well, if he does come back, probably this is my guess. Probably will be in 2016. Maybe at the Royal Rumble make a shotgun appearance. That's just my guess.
I mean, there's a lot of shocking guys that you can also put in for the Royal Rumble. I know a lot of people put in the legends. Guys like Kevin Nash. I mean, Godfather. Guy only lasts only 20 seconds per Mania appearance, maybe less than that. But You know, I would love to see a Tyson Kidd return in the near future. Maybe a WrestleMania could be good, but it could be a little bit too early for him to, make a return. There's not even been a report that he's even training or even, lacing up the boots yet. So, I would love to, say he's going to return soon, but I'm not a official media member or anything like that in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you and me go backstage on Raw or SmackDown or pay. That'd be awesome. I'd be very nervous to interview these guys. Hey guys, you want to be on my podcast? Who the hell are you? That'd be awesome. I'd be nervous. I don't know about you, but I will be nervous. Like the divas, the guys, the managers. Will you be nervous if you have an opportunity to interview anyone on the roster for a podcast or just say to be on your YouTube channel?
Oh, yeah. Is your question, like, who would I like to have on my show?
No, I'm just saying if you have a chance, if they offer backstage passes to any live pay-per-views or Raw, and you have an opportunity to interview them, will you be freaking nervous to go one on
Oh,
one with? I mean, like a sit-down interview.
absolutely. There's always a lot of topics to talk to a wrestler. I mean, talk about the rise to fame, the training, NXT. So I mean, I would definitely be nervous. I mean, it'll be a fun time. It'll be a complete honor. I mean, I remember going backstage to a couple of arena football shows, and still haven't gone to a professional mixed martial arts show yet. For as a member of the media, I will try to do one day. But I mean, I got offers to go to San Francisco for Bellator, just a couple of other things, in the Bellator area, like the Fan Fest that's open to media. Malaysia, I was offered to go to Malaysia for One FC. I mean, I've done my time in the writing world to get where I want, but wrestling is something I am truly passionate about. I want to be a little bit more hardcore into that, so like potentially it could lead to the passes and everything like that for wrestling events. But it comes with a grain of salt. It doesn't happen overnight.
Cool. Um, if you have a chance to meet McMahon, what will you say to him? What was the first word to come in your mouth if you had a chance to meet Vince McMahon?
How you start a wrestling promotion?
That's how you're gonna say. You're not gonna say why the Raw is so bad. You're not gonna say that to him.
No, first off, I would love to come out as a respectful person. I
Okay.
think being respectful is always a good thing. I shake the guy's hand, which will be great. I would love to, outside of writing, I would love to run a wrestling promotion. Honestly, I think wrestling is a big part of my life, and I'm not a it's not so addictive that it takes over my life. It's something that gets me away from all the negative stuff that happens in life, and it puts me in a happier way, and it makes me want to go to the gym and train, and potentially become a wrestler one day. But I know I can't. But you know what? If that's not going to happen, I've always wanted to open up a wrestling, and a wrestling promotion, whether it's very low key, but it's always a start to get some advice from a guy who has done it. A guy who was basically built from the ground up, bought a promotion from his own father, and look where it is today. The best promotion in wrestling. So I want to get some of the best advice from the man, the greatest guy. That's Vince McMahon.
Now, speaking of McMahon, there's a rumor going around sometime in 2016 that Shane O'Mac is gonna get his own DVD. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it'll be great. I would love to see a Shane McMahon DVD coming out. I mean, I like Shane McMahon. Very in the late 1990s, I wasn't a fan of his mic work. I mean, just go back on the network. He's just it just doesn't sound like a legitimate promo. I just couldn't take. When the whole corporate ministry was around, his promos, it was just not great. I mean, it was not 100%, but his in-ring work was always entertaining. I mean, there's a few Shane McMahon matches that I love, but he's always an entertaining guy, and I would definitely buy the DVD.
Yeah, he's a great performer. I mean, I think he's more edgier than his dad. Now, there's other rumors that he might come back to the company in 2016. Also, do you think that could happen, or do you think that's just another rumor to let the Russian fans down again?
All I want to say,
Oh, you want to see?
over half a billion times. I have not heard anything, serious from any of the news sites that are close to wrestling promotions and so on and so forth, or the Wrestling Observer. Right now, it's just a rumor. I know Shane McMahon is like a manager or like an owner of some, now I don't want to say like a TV company, or it's some company out in Japan right now. I want to say, but he's doing really good in his life. I know he was on the Spectre premiere with Batista on the red carpet. That's what I know of as of so far. I don't know anything about him training to get back into the ring. But I would love to see a Shane McMahon return. If it's going to be in 2016, you got to book it for the Rumble. The surprise appearance of Shane McMahon in the Rumble. It'll be fun. It'll be great. I know he will not win it, but you know what? Who thought that? Who made that return? Who made a return in the Rumble at one point? I mean, who thought that Jim Carrey or Drew Carey was going to end up being in a Rumble in 2001? I mean, who thought that was going to happen? There's a lot of guys who really, shocked us, and maybe Shane McMahon could be one of the shockers in the Rumble for this year.
Oh yeah, and maybe just maybe you could shut down the authorities, or maybe eventually he'll join forces with his sister and his brother-in-law. We'll find out, but I miss Shane McMahon. I don't know when the last time we saw him on a WTV show. When the last time we saw him?
I want to say it was either 2008, 2009, where it was Triple H and the McMahons when they were taking down Legacy and Orton.
Okay.
That was the last time I actually know of Shane. I think Shane was actually written off after being punted in the head by Randy Orton in the hallway. That's why I think that was the last time we actually saw Shane. I could be wrong. But that's the only recollection that I know that I remember of Shane McMahon even being in the WWE. I think after that he went straight to doing his own company out in Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah. He took some time off. I don't know if he has. See, the rumor was before. I don't know if this is really legit or freaking rumor. The original idea was he was gonna stay with the company, and he was gonna be the new owners or whatever, like Triple H and Stephanie are doing. Like have more control, but I guess he didn't like that, and that's why he left. Also, I'm not too sure if that's really legit part, or he just want to go on his own terms, and do his own thing. I mean, not Stephanie, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, Shane is more successful than where he is right now. I know that. I think eventually, he could have a part back in the WWE. If stuff was to happen, I mean, I'd love to see Shane McMahon return as like some sort of, a figure as a backstage guy. I don't want to say much as an agent. I mean, the WWE has a number of agents as is. But it's just, I think Shane McMahon, he's more successful right now with the kind of company that he runs out there in Japan right now.
Okay, now speaking of Japan, do you think WWE should sign some guys from Japan, or have they did already?
I think I mean, if they're going to sign anybody from like any Japan brand, Bullet Club. I want to see, the Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. I want to see Dog Gallows back into the WWE. But obviously, they're going to have to start from the bottom down at NXT. I know everybody out in the NXT world, everybody's satisfied with what they have seen. I heard James Storm was happy to be in NXT. I would love to see him back in an NXT ring sooner rather than later. And if it's going to be somebody down from Japan, I would like to see AJ Styles as well. I want to see the whole Bullet Club come over to the WWE and get like a faction back in the WWE.
Speaking of AJ Styles, he was a freaking awesome in TNA. Back in the early days, and I guess he left. I don't know if that's the storyline or not. Of course, that's not a storyline because he really left the company. Now there are rumors right now. I don't. This is really legit. WWE is thinking about signing him. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've heard something like that. I mean, I know AJ Styles is getting into the ages of 40. I think he's like, what, 37, 38 right now.
Yeah.
But, if they were going to do it, they would have signed him a little bit a while ago. But, I mean, AJ Styles is, post TNA right now. He's having the greatest run, as a wrestler in the last 3 years. I mean, he's doing so many great things, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Champion right now. It's just he's doing so many phenomenal things. Hence why the nickname Phenomenal AJ Styles. I mean, he's untouchable. I mean, I consider myself a TNA original. I watched TNA since day one. I was watching TNA since I was 12 years old. I would hate to see how the company is right now. AJ Styles was the face of that company, and once he left, I felt really upset that did had to lead to that. But they were booking him completely wrong. It's just I know he had a few with the bad influence, for a couple of years. Then he goes into this whole phase where I think they called him as a or people would say like a lone wolf kind of person, kind of like the factor that Baron Corbin is. I know Baron Corbin has his own motto as a lone wolf as well. It's just he was just being booked wrong. And I think on top of that, I think it was a low money. I think that's what led to him, becoming a free agent. I think TNA at one point offered him $200,000 per year, according to Styles himself. But he decided to start taking bookings on the independent circuit, which led to him going to AAA, which led to him going to Wrestle One. I know he went to PWG, Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW, Family Wrestling Entertainment. It's just he's hitting it really hard in the independent circuit, but he's really has not have made that big of an impact since when he joined the Bullet Club in March, I want to say, and his New Japan stuff is just so freaking amazing right now that honestly, if he comes to the WWE, I would like to see what they do with him. Is he going to get a big push? Is he going to be pushed like Finn Balor is right now? If AJ Styles does come to the WWE, if he does go to NXT, does that mean we're going to end up seeing a Styles Balor match, which will be my fantasy match of the entire my entire life? I also like to put that right next to Sting and Taker, but I would love to see Balor versus AJ Styles. It'll be former leaders of the Bullet Club. Battle off against each other on a WWE brand. So there's a lot of interesting things to talk about with AJ Styles and a lot of fantasy stuff that we would love to see. But I think right now, I think he's going to stick out there in New Japan. But never count it out. Never count out AJ Styles coming over to the WWE. I know some wrestlers can wrestle surpass the ages of 40. I mean, look at the Undertaker right now. I think Mick Foley is obviously over the age of 40, and he wrestled for a time. But you know what? Let's just hopefully keep our heads high on that. Hopefully AJ Styles does come over to the WWE at some point.
Okay. That'd be an awesome thing. Okay, another thing I want to ask you. So let's see here. What will be? I mean, let me rephrase that. What shows have you been pay-per-view wise? Tell the viewers if you told me already.
I've been to if you're talking about pay per view wise,
I'm talking about WWE only. I mean,
WWE only. Oh boy, there's a nice list. I went to WrestleMania when I was out here.
okay.
We talked about that off camera.
Yeah, tell them what WrestleMania. They all know what WrestleMania you're talking about. Tell them.
WrestleMania 26, if I'm saying, if I want to get that Roman numeral correctly.
That's fine.
WrestleMania 26 out here in the desert of Arizona. Fantastic event. I mean, it was an event that's so special to me because we saw McMahon versus Bret Hart.
I didn't care for that match at all.
I didn't really care for it either. I thought it was going to be good, but I didn't really care for it. It was also the last time we saw Shawn Michaels in a ring.
Yeah, but wait. Before you say anything, that match was okay, but 25 was way better. The only reason it was way better because they know at 26, HBK's last match. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you agree with me or not.
Yeah, there's a good point right there.
Yes.
There's also one of my there's some nice moments in this pay per view as well where we saw what was Evan Bourne do a shooting star press on the ladder,
Oh
off
yeah.
the ladder. That was a great moment. I mean, that was a very, to myself kind of, happy, WrestleMania moment.
Okay.
I've also run to WrestleMania 17 when I was a little kid. I'm very, very, very excited to have gone to such a high, praised event. An event which we saw McMahon and Stone Cold officially, something that we would never see. Hopefully, and never, or obviously, we would never see it ever, but it did. We saw McMahon and Stone Cold come together. We saw in the infamous, I think it was the TLC 2 at that event.
Oh yeah.
Such an amazing TLC matchup. We saw, Jeff Hardy dandling from the scaffold, holding on to the belts, and Edge spearing him right off the ladder.
That was
Such
awesome.
an incredible moment there. I mean, there's just so many great things about that. I saw China win the women's championship. There's just the Undertaker versus Triple H. There's just so many grateful things that I can say about 17. I went to WrestleMania 2000. I've been to a couple of just low market kind of other pay per views. If you want to jump into the 2010 year, I did my fair share of traveling that year. I went to right after WrestleMania 26. I was able to catch a flight out to Baltimore, Maryland for Extreme Rules 2010. If you guys remember Extreme Rules 2010 when John Cena and Batista had that last man standing matchup. 2010 was a very busy year for myself because I was on the road a whole lot. I was also spending some time with my family out in New York, in which I did go to the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view that year, which I honestly thought was a legitimate letdown. I was not a fan of the event at all. The main event was just trash. Sheamus, won that Fatal 4-Way matchup. I was a big, I was so happy to be there because I get to see Tyson Kidd in the Hart Dynasty taking on the Usos, who are just rising at that time. There's a lot of other shows I want to go to as well, but those are some of the big name events I've gone to. I've been to a plethora of Raw and SmackDown shows in California. I did a couple of shows out in New Mexico. And also in Colorado as well. So I mean, I've been to a plethora of wrestling shows.
Okay, so you've never been to a SummerSlam, Survivors, or the Rumble yet?
I went to one SummerSlam and I forgot what year. I know it was out here in Arizona. It was, I want to say, the 2002. I just have not, something it just almost blew away from my mind that it was the 02 one out here in Arizona,
Okay.
the Elimination Chamber matchup.
Oh wow, that's gonna be awesome. It doesn't happen too often, especially for a SummerSlam. So I forgot who won that. Was that Goldberg? No, who won that one?
Yeah, God, who actually did win that one? I
Was
want to
that
say it was
was
Goldberg.
that Triple H won that? Retained the belt?
I want to say it was Goldberg because it's been such a long time since I haven't even watched that. It wasn't the 2002 SummerSlam. It was the 2003 SummerSlam.
Okay.
It was out here in Phoenix. It was at the time it was called the America West Arena.
So
I remember.
is that the same stadium now with the Phoenix Suns? Correct?
Yeah, they changed. They went through a number of name changes. Also during that time, I know Bank One Ballpark was where the Arizona Diamondbacks were. Now it's Chase Field. But to be correct on that, it was the year where Triple H defeated Goldberg, Jericho, Orton, and Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels in that Elimination Chamber. And then we saw Kane versus RVD in that No Holds Barred match. Angle versus Lesnar. Guerrero versus Rhino, Tajiri, Benoit in that United States Fatal 4-Way match. Shane McMahon versus Eric Bischoff. Undertaker versus A Train. I mean, that was a pretty good show. I was kind of I was happy with it. I remember watching it a little bit on the network recently, but it almost slipped out of my mind that I almost went to the event. I mean, how do you forget that?
What do I want to say? Do you have a favorite diva in WWE or in the past? you really like? I mean, I'm talking about, of course, looks. I'm talking about wrestling skills. You know?
Right now, I'm a diehard fan. A lot of people are like, really. I mean, you don't really see a lot of fans of hers. Tamina Snuka.
Yeah.
Love
Speaking of
love
her,
Tamina.
she don't give a major push like Charlotte or Nikki or other divas, and that's pathetic, isn't it?
Yeah. Tamina is an incredible wrestler all around. I know she is Jimmy Snuka's daughter. She has learned from the best. And she's an incredible in-ring worker. I just think that the WWE is booking her completely wrong.
Yep.
I know in 2014 she had a leg injury, which I was just very crushed. I think Tamina could be a much bigger factor and a much bigger role. I think this whole team bad thing is just incredibly
Stupid.
just outright overbooked their welcome because the whole PCB, that team drug is what I call it because it sounds like a drug. I think that officially fell through. Team Bella is just lagging a whole lot now. Is lagging on. At my point, it's actually kind of broken because Nikki Bella's taking time off.
Yeah.
It's just I cannot. I think that this whole team bad thing is just it needs to be broken up, and this whole Divas revolution can continue to have that revolution. But you know what? You gotta break up these tag teams and make sure that just a majority of these of these divas are not in tag teams matches every single week on Raw. Book a couple of divas matches. You now have three new divas coming to the roster: Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky Lynch. These three divas are fantastic. I love Sasha Banks. I love Charlotte. I love Becky Lynch. And three great additions to a much needed, improved Divas division. I would love to see that happen, but you know what? They're all caught up in this team that, team this. I mean, just break them up. I mean, team bad. It's fine. It's just there's nothing really to feud on now. Nikki Bella's out. PCB is broken up now. What's the point of having just three divas just be with each other just for entrance six? I mean, honestly.
Yeah. Now speaking of Charlotte, I know probably a lot of viewers are gonna hit me with the passion. I mean, she's good, but she needs to change her music because it reminded me of Ric Flair. I know she's a daughter of Ric Flair, but if she wants to be on her own, she needs to change her music, and she's got to stop doing the woo stuff. I know you probably won't agree with me because probably that's the only reason she got this big opportunity because she's a daughter of Ric Flair. What's your thoughts?
Well, well, not only that, I mean, she's also made a huge impact in the NXT women's division. I mean, it's a fantastic division. I think that, I think she left. She should have debuted on Raw right after her first match with Sasha Banks. When she dropped the title to Sasha Banks, that was a legitimate, memorable send off, and it was kind of the WWE served as we can get a couple more matches, and some matches that need to be happen onto a NXT Takeover card, but they never leave out disappointment. They've always entertained us. I loved it, but honestly, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Charlotte. I think that even if she is doing stuff that her dad did, it's still getting her by. She's a fantastic in-ring competitor. I love her. I love her ringtone, or not her ringtone, her theme song.
Yeah.
I think that I would love to put it as my ringtone. Why not?
Yeah.
But I think that it would be it's a great tribute that she's doing to her dad. But then again, she's doing it for herself right now, and she's running with it. She's already the Divas champion. She's only been on the main roster for only for a few months now.
Yeah, but I still think they need to change it up. I mean, it's good in the beginning, that song, and then when they had a Ric Flair song. But they need to get rid of the Ric Flair song and she could do her own music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But probably a lot of viewers are going to bash me for saying that. But I really like Charlotte Banks. I'm not a big fan of Paige. What about you? Are you a big fan of Paige?
Oh, she's a great in-ring worker, but I'm sick and tired of the WWE pushing her
Yep.
so many times. I think that it's time for somebody else to get a push.
Yes.
I know Paige at one point or another was booked in for a Divas title match like 8 times in a row and has failed miserably in all of them. 6 of those 8 title matches were just not good matches.
Nope.
And she went 0-8 in all of them. I mean, why would they continue to give her a title push? We have Charlotte, we have Becky Lynch, we have Sasha Banks.
Yes.
It's just, can we get something new? And that's all I'm asking for.
It's the same thing for the guys division. When John Cena's the world champion back in the day before they merged, um, like his rival at the time, Edge, he had to have so many freaking rematches until he finally gets his belt back.
Yeah,
So it's the same shit. It just rotates.
of course.
So the only reason that who is facing Charlotte as wrestlers now?
It's going to end up being Paige.
Yeah, Paige. The only reason she's the one contender because she's still having a beef with Charlotte, and that's part of the storyline. I mean, that'd be great if WWE does a 180 with us and put Banks in instead of Paige, but that's not gonna happen, especially the storyline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it needs us. I know a lot of wrestling fans are not big fan of Paige. I'm not a big fan of her. I mean, I don't know, but she needs to step off or stay away from the title picture for a long time. Same thing for Nikki. I know she's injured, but once she come back, she's gonna be in the title picture again. That's not her fault. It's the creators.
I just don't think Nikki Bella deserves to be a champion right now. I think that Nikki Bella has held on to that title long enough.
Yes.
I think it's okay for her to surpass AJ Lee because AJ Lee is no longer an active member of the roster. She's no longer a competitor in the WWE right now. It's just I'm okay with that. I accepted the fact that AJ decided to go with CM Punk, and a lot of people are saying it's because CM Punk is the reason why that she's no longer wrestling there.
Yeah.
And if that is, then it is. I'm not burned out over it. I'm over CM Punk being in wrestling. The guy has yet to make a debut in the UFC.
I know. What the
and
hell is that?
I'm waiting for it to happen. I love CM Punk, but at a time, it's where what he got to do what he has to do in order to get in the ring. But going back to the Divas, I don't think that CM Punk had any possibly could have one, possibly didn't have that decision and pulling AJ Lee out of the wrestling. But if the WWE wants to get rid of AJ Lee, as a whole in wrestling in the WWE for the longest Divas Championship run, then so be it. Now it's an opportunity for somebody else to break that, and then now it's the person after the next diva. So I mean, sky's the limit in that Divas division is all I'm going to say. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I would love to see change, but
yeah. Okay. One more question. One more question for you before we end this thing. Now, CM Punk was the longest reigning WWE champion. Do you think if Roman Reigns becomes champion, do you think he's gonna break the record?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
I don't know.
I love Roman Reigns, my favorite Shield member, but I mean, just no. I mean, I don't think so.
Because they did it for the Divas division. I was wondering if they can do that for the men's division. I was just wondering, in your opinion, you don't think so?
I don't think so. I think Seth Rollins could. I mean, I think Seth Rollins. I mean, the WWE should. I mean, if CM Punk is going to return to the WWE as a wrestler, it's going to be part time. So I don't expect any title runs from him ever again. I know he's not going to do it because after the whole few years of incident after incident after incident on that podcast that he did a little while back. So I mean, it's just. He let his grievances out. Right now, it does not look like he's returning, but I don't even expect a part-time run with CM Punk in the company. But if I do see CM Punk return, it will be as a Brock Lesnar role, as an Undertaker role, part-time. But title run-wise, I would love to see Seth Rollins take over CM Punk's spot as the longest reigning champion.
Yeah, but he's got to come back and kick ass again. But he he will. Okay, I'm gonna sign off with this podcast. Thank you very much. This is an very very good one. Hopefully you have a blast, my friend.
Ah, man, I had a great one. If you ever want to do any more of these, just feel free to hit me up, man. You have my Twitter, you have the Facebook, just hit me up, man, whenever you want to do one.
Okay, you want to say goodbye to your viewers and all that good stuff? Go ahead, take it away again.
Thanks guys for listening. Find me on Twitter at Justin David Kish. Facebook me at facebook.com/JustinDavidKish. I mainly talk about sports on my Facebook wall. I share my articles from my sites when it's posted, and the site's still under construction. YouTube, just search Access Sports Network. You guys can check out some of my videos I've done so far in the world of sports: football, baseball, basketball, wrestling. Got a couple of wrestling shows I'm going to be reviewing tonight. I'm currently and right now, as I'm talking to you guys, I am watching the 1998 edition of Survivor Series. Yes, the Deadly Games, just to get my blood boiling as we're a couple of weeks out Survivor Series. So I expect to do a couple reviews on some wrestling shows. NXT shows going to come as well. So I mean, come and check out my YouTube channel. Also check out my boy, TeamRyRy.
Yeah, thank you
His
very
channel is
much.
amazing. Check out his stuff. I mean, it's just a lot of you're doing a lot of great work on your channel, man. Hopefully that my channel reaches as far as you. I had a higher channel at one point. I'm starting a whole new network with my whole site, so I want to kick something with my site. So hopefully that my new channel rises to the amount of viewership and the amount of likes and everything that you get, man. I mean, I'm very happy that you're on YouTube and you're speaking your mind in the world of wrestling, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. All my links will be down below, Wrestling Fanatics. Same thing for him. I'm going to end this on a high note. We will see you next podcast edition. Good night, my viewers. Not too sure when this will be up. Hopefully tonight. Peace out.